Jake Paul Mike Tyson happens around a month ago. The son says, I want something like this. I want to do something like this. I want something big. They're doing it in Saudi Arabia. They're doing it all over the place. I want something big in India. On Saturday, at the post-fight press conference in Tampa, Dana White alluded to the fact that he had something in the works, something big up his sleeve for 2025.
I have no issue with this fight for a few reasons. Number one, obviously, I don't think he's ready to be back in the UFC. I think he will get his ass kicked thoroughly.
The saga between Conor McGregor and Jake Paul has taken an intriguing turn. Before the problem child even entered the conversation, McGregor stirred excitement by hinting at a potential showdown with Logan Paul. The Irish fighter claimed he was already in discussions with the Ameni family to arrange a match with Logan, the elder Paul sibling. I have agreed, McGregor famously wrote, signaling his intent to step into the boxing ring before making his return to the octagon. Critics, including AKA's Javier Mendez, questioned McGregor's choice of opponent, suggesting he might have picked the wrong Paul. However, it now appears that any misstep has been corrected. While Logan Paul hasn't yet achieved the same renown in the martial arts world as his younger brother, he is no stranger to the fight game. His most recent boxing match, against Dylan Dennis, a teammate of McGregor, took place in 2023. That fight, though, sparked controversy as Logan secured victory via disqualification. Just as Logan seemed poised for a defining moment against the former UFC double champion, Jake Paul swooped in, stealing the spotlight and the coveted bout for himself.
Thoughts on Tyson, Jake Paul? Who gives a bollocks?
Nobody gives a bollocks.
No one gives a fuck about him.
Nobody gives a fuck about that lad.
I hope we rattles that little dope.
I hope Tyson fucking rocks that lad.
How was that even in the fucking Dallas Stadium?
How the fuck did they even get a stadium?
This is Mike Tyson Kush, yes?
This is Tyson Weed. Tyson Weed.
There's no one doing it like me. Nobody.
I'm still the fucking king of this shit, right? I'm the king of this shit, right?
Salvador Rodriguez, the renowned ESPN reporter, recently added fuel to the fire surrounding a potential blockbuster fight. Taking to social media, Rodriguez shared pictures of the problem child Jake Paul and the notorious Conor McGregor, writing, sources, Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor on the table for July, August, or September 2025 in India. Adding to the intrigue, McGregor himself has only contributed 3 letters to the discussion. TKO. This cryptic remark suggests his confidence in the outcome of the fight. With this revelation, a new piece of the puzzle falls into place, shedding light on the timeline. Dana White had previously hinted that McGregor's return to the octagon would likely come in late 2025. Now it all starts to make sense. McGregor's schedule will first involve a high-profile boxing bout with Jake Paul in India. But here's a twist you might not know. Jake Paul once lashed out at McGregor for initially opting to fight his older brother, Logan Paul, instead. The animosity between McGregor and Jake has simmered for years, but now it seems both fighters are ready to bring their rivalry into the ring. Curious? Let's dive deeper into the history and drama surrounding this anticipated showdown.
Boxing Media Hub here, just a quick one, just come in. Conor McGregor versus Jake Paul, reportedly on the table for between July to September in India next year. Jake Paul and not Logan. Let me know your thoughts.
Following the initial buzz around a potential bout between Logan Paul and Conor McGregor, Jake Paul quickly inserted himself into the conversation. Taking to X, formerly Twitter, Jake quoted, "Now it all makes sense why Conor McGregor and his management team have been desperately trying to get MVP to negotiate for a fight between us. As we told them privately, and I'm now saying it publicly, the only way we're willing to explore me versus Conor in a pro boxing or MMA fight is if Dana White and the UFC are directly involved or explicitly approve the discussions." Never one to hold back, Jake unleashed a scathing critique of McGregor. "Conor is washed," he claimed, adding, "The Pauls are needed. Logan beats him however he wants." Despite his bold words, it became clear that Jake wanted McGregor for himself, emphasizing his desire to face the Irish superstar in the ring. As speculation mounts, fans eagerly await to see how this saga unfolds. With McGregor reportedly having just 2 fights left on his UFC contract, his return to the octagon could coincide with a farewell tour in 2025. However, his current focus appears to be shifting to boxing, with plans to face Logan Paul in India already sending shockwaves through the sports world. Now, whispers of an even bigger surprise are circulating, a potential clash between McGregor and Jake Paul. With both fighters known for their larger-than-life personas and intense rivalries, such a showdown would undoubtedly captivate fans and elevate the spectacle to unprecedented levels.
Could this be one of the biggest fights we could ever see? Conor McGregor versus Jake Paul is reportedly on the table for July-September time in India. This fight could be one of the biggest and best build-ups, best fights in terms of entertainment ever. Conor McGregor versus Jake Paul as a boxing match, no, they're not great boxers. But as a build-up and entertainment, this could be amazing. Conor McGregor, Jake Paul, very similar personalities, and I think they'll clash well. But the thing is, the reason why this fight wouldn't happen is because Conor McGregor is contracted to the UFC for another 2 more fights. Unless that's why they're going to India and it's going to be like an exhibition, not a pro fight. Because of the UFC clause. But I've seen Logan Paul, Conor McGregor. Man, it would be crazy if this fight did happen. And over in India.
Conor McGregor, now holding a 30-6 professional MMA record, may soon step back into the boxing ring for the first time since his legendary 2017 bout with Floyd Mayweather, this time to face Jake Paul, the self-proclaimed problem child. The rumored fight has sparked widespread speculation about whether Logan Paul, previously linked to a potential McGregor bout, has been sidelined in favor of his younger brother. Jake's rising fame and ability to generate massive pay-per-view sales make him a compelling choice, especially as he remains one of the most talked-about figures in boxing at just 27 years old. Reports from Happy Punch suggest that the fight is being targeted for the third quarter of 2025, with India set to host the high-profile event. Fans quickly took to social media to share their reactions, with some suggesting McGregor's motivation could be financial, referencing challenges his business ventures have faced since the Nikita Hand scandal. One fan commented, "Conor must need money," while another described the fight as a huge money heist for boxing, speculating that it might stream on Netflix and potentially break viewership records. While many anticipate the spectacle, others are skeptical, dismissing the fight as a snooze fest and questioning its relevance, especially given McGregor's inactivity since his last win in 2020 against Donald Cerrone. In contrast, Jake Paul has remained active, building a reputation for TKO victories and staying in the public eye. Critics question whether McGregor's potential return to the ring signifies a final chapter in his illustrious career or simply a lucrative DT. With just 2 fights remaining on his UFC contract, fans are left wondering if this marks the beginning of McGregor's farewell tour or a shift in focus to boxing. But one thing is clear: the world will be watching, whether for the sport or the spectacle. In the boxing world, Jake Paul's 11-1 record has made him a sensible choice as a potential opponent for Conor McGregor. However, fans have speculated that McGregor's numerous legal battles, including lawsuits with former friend Artem Lobov over the Proper 12 whiskey brand and the Nikita Hand case, may be influencing his return to high-profile fights. One fan remarked, "Lawyer fees must be adding up, can't be lazy no more." Another expressed skepticism about the fight's appeal, stating, "Nobody is paying to watch Jake Paul box again, not even with Conor. Everyone's just going to wait for the highlights the next day." Hopefully, they are not doing this for the money because it's not there. Amidst these rumors, McGregor announced on X that he has reached a preliminary agreement with the Amboni family to face Logan Paul in an exhibition boxing match scheduled to take place in India next year. This announcement has drawn commentary from prominent MMA figures such as Michael Bisping and Ariel Helwani, who noted that the boxing match might be feasible due to the UFC and WWE being owned by the same parent company. Meanwhile, Michael Chandler has reignited his call-out to McGregor for a potential showdown, taking to social media to write, "Ring, cage, mat, canvas, whatever you want to call it, all you have to do is step up, the Notorious MMA." After facing multiple postponements and a scrapped fight with McGregor, Chandler recently fought Charles Oliveira at UFC 309, where he suffered a unanimous decision loss. During his post-fight interview with Joe Rogan, Chandler reiterated his desire to face McGregor, keeping the possibility of their long-anticipated bout alive.
Conor McGregor, if you can ever get your house back in order while us real professionals have been keeping the octagon warm, we're wondering where you've been, Conor. Come back and beat me, if you can. Do you have any more questions, Joe?
I do not, sir. That was an awesome fight. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mike Chandler, ladies and gentlemen.
An MMA insider has revealed a surprising connection between Jake Paul and the speculated fight involving Conor McGregor. On a recent episode of the Ariel Helwani show, the seasoned journalist disclosed that WWE superstar Logan Paul was not the Ambani family's top pick to challenge the Notorious. According to reports, Indian tycoon Mukesh Ambani initially preferred Jake Paul as McGregor's opponent. Helwani shared, "My understanding is the first choice was, we want Jake Paul. We want to be in the Jake Paul business. We want a Jake Paul fight here in India. So the top choice was Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor. That was the pie-in-the-sky idea." Helwani elaborated on Jake Paul's appeal, pointing out that his boxing achievements have surpassed those of his brother, Logan. "This is not me trying to take a shot at Logan or anyone else," Helwani explained. "Jake has become more of a boxer as of late, as opposed to Logan, who last fought Dylan Dennis. Logan, boasting a combined professional and exhibition record of 1-1-2, fought Floyd Mayweather to a draw in 2021 and earned a controversial victory over Dennis in 2023. Critics noted a lack of action in the latter bout. Jake, by contrast, holds an 11-1 professional boxing record, having defeated notable opponents, including former UFC legends Anderson Silva, Tyron Woodley, Nate Diaz, and most recently, Mike Tyson, via unanimous decision. Conor McGregor's inactivity further complicates the equation. The Irish superstar hasn't competed since 2021, leaving him more than 3 years removed from his last bout. This extended absence, coupled with ongoing legal troubles, has drawn doubts about his readiness for such a high-profile matchup. Former UFC fighter Josh Thompson believes these factors could weigh heavily against McGregor in a potential clash with Jake Paul, further fueling speculation about whether the fight would deliver on its immense hype. Weighing in on the potential matchup, Josh Thompson shared his thoughts on his podcast, expressing a preference for Logan Paul over Conor McGregor due to McGregor's prolonged inactivity and distractions outside the cage. Thompson clarified that this wasn't because Logan was a superior boxer but questioned whether someone with a $400 million net worth could maintain the level of dedication required for such a fight. Meanwhile, Michael Chandler continues his relentless pursuit of a showdown with McGregor. Initially slated to fight the Irishman in February 2023, the match has yet to materialize nearly 2 years later. After a decision loss to Charles Oliveira at UFC 309, Chandler reiterated his ambitions, refocusing on securing a fight with McGregor, whom he still considers MMA's biggest star. McGregor, however, startled fans with his recent announcement on X, formerly Twitter, that he is in preliminary talks for a boxing exhibition against Logan Paul. Confident that the match could generate $100 million and set new pay-per-view records, McGregor continues to fuel speculation about the fight, though no official confirmation has been made. Chandler, seemingly resigned to the possibility that he may never face McGregor, has turned his attention to other opponents. In an interview with Lucky Block, Chandler floated the idea of a fight against rising lightweight star Paddy Pimblett, suggesting it could happen in the near future. "Paddy versus myself is going to happen at some point," Chandler said, highlighting the appeal of their contrasting styles and fan-friendly personas. McGregor's decision to pursue a boxing exhibition rather than return to the UFC has sparked mixed reactions. Javier Mendez, coach of Team Khabib, openly criticized the move on his podcast, suggesting that a fight against Jake Paul would make more sense than Logan Paul. Mendez acknowledged Logan's skills in the ring but commended Jake for his superior athletic ability and dedication to boxing. Mendez remarked, "Jake's put in the work," contrasting his focus with what many perceive as McGregor's waning commitment to combat sports. While fans debate the implications of McGregor's choice, the Irishman's cryptic tweets and unconfirmed plans continue to dominate headlines, leaving the combat sports world eager to see how this latest saga unfolds. Javier Mendez has been vocal about his skepticism regarding a potential matchup between Conor McGregor and Logan Paul, emphasizing that Logan is not a serious contender in the sport of boxing. On a podcast discussion, Mendez said, "That's going to be a bomb. His brother hasn't won a freaking boxing match. Give me a break." He questioned Logan's legitimacy, contrasting him with Jake Paul, whose 11-1 professional boxing record includes high-profile victories over Tyron Woodley, Nate Diaz, and even a recent win against Mike Tyson. Mendez also dismissed Logan's abilities, noting that while he is charismatic and excels as an entertainer, he lacks the dedication and training commitment of his younger brother, Jake. Despite these criticisms, Mendez acknowledged that a bout between Logan and McGregor might still appeal to fans seeking entertainment rather than elite boxing. He remarked, "As a fan of fighting, that's a spectacle. You've got two guys who know how to make spectacles of themselves. Logan Paul is fantastic at that, and that's why I said when I saw him in WWE, man, that guy's made for that." Mendez added that Logan is more of a showman than a fighter, pointing out his ability to entertain audiences but questioning his readiness to compete at a high level in boxing. Co-host Len offered a counterpoint, referencing Logan's 2021 exhibition match with Floyd Mayweather, which ended in a draw. Mendes, however, dismissed the bout as unrefined and symbolic of Logan's lack of polish as a fighter. Meanwhile, Ariel Helwani revealed that both Conor McGregor and the Mboni family initially considered Jake Paul as McGregor's opponent, highlighting Jake's superior credentials in the boxing ring. Helwani's sources also shed light on the financial implications of the proposed fight, revealing that Anant Mboni, the son of billionaire Mukesh Ambani, is spearheading efforts to organize a high-profile sporting event in India. The younger Ambani, who recently made headlines with a lavish $600 million wedding, is reportedly orchestrating the event with ambitions akin to the grand spectacles hosted in Saudi Arabia. While McGregor's mention of a potential fight with Logan Paul has stirred speculation, the project remains in its early stages, leaving fans and analysts alike curious about how the saga will unfold.
Last couple of days, we've been talking about this Logan Paul, Conor McGregor story, and my phone continues to blow up. Fielding a lot of phone calls, talking to a lot of sources, talking to a lot of people, and that is the initial tweet that kind of, kicked all this off, right? That tweet right there. The rumors of a bout with Notorious are false. There were no real rumors, let's be honest. I am in preliminary agreements with the Ambani family to face Logan Paul in a boxing exhibition in India. I have agreed. I will then seek my return to the octagon. So this was on December 17th, 2 days ago, and that's what really sparked everything. And then I've been talking to a lot of people. And so right after that, when we did the show on Tuesday, I said there is validity, right? There is a thing here. Save that tweet if we can. Save that tweet. There is validity. There is validity to this story. This is a real thing. And it's not just, Conor chatting shit, as the kids like to say. And I've continued to look into it, and I've continued to talk to people. And now I feel compelled.
Logan Paul presents a significant challenge for Conor McGregor, especially considering the size advantage and the constraints of the Queensberry rules in boxing. With Paul's larger frame, he could potentially land a powerful blow that sends McGregor reeling. However, BKFC sensation and former UFC fighter Platinum Mike Perry is optimistic about McGregor's chances of winning. Perry recently hosted former UFC fighter Michael Johnson, who once faced Khabib Nurmagomedov, on his podcast. During the conversation, Johnson shared his prediction for the potential showdown, stating, "I'm going with Conor to beat Logan," despite acknowledging Logan's size advantage over McGregor. Johnson also suggested that Logan might have a better chance against McGregor than Jake Paul would, noting that Logan's larger size could be an advantage. Perry, however, quickly interjected to clarify that Jake Paul has also grown in size, noting that Jake weighed 227 pounds during his fight against Mike Tyson earlier this year, which is significantly heavier than Logan's typical weight of around 205 pounds. Despite the size differences, Perry remains confident that McGregor can secure the victory against Logan, even with the challenges presented by Paul's physical attributes. Platinum Mike Perry continued to favor Conor McGregor in a potential showdown with Logan Paul, highlighting McGregor's exceptional striking skills, mastery of distance, and defensive techniques as key advantages that could give him the upper hand in the ring. Perry acknowledged that McGregor's slickness and fight IQ could work in his favor, even in a situation where he faces a larger opponent. However, he also reminded listeners that the McGregor vs. Paul matchup is set to be an exhibition, meaning there would be no official winner or loser, though fans would still eagerly judge the outcome. As for McGregor's future in MMA, there's growing skepticism about whether he'll ever return to the UFC octagon. The prevailing belief is fueled by McGregor's incredible financial success outside of the sport, including his thriving business empire, which has secured him generational wealth. With such financial freedom, many question why McGregor would subject himself to the grueling demands of a full training camp for an MMA fight, only to face the risk of injury or defeat from some of the world's top fighters. After all, he could potentially earn similar sums, if not more, by engaging in spectacle boxing matches with celebrities like Logan or Jake Paul. This perspective is not limited to fans. UFC President Dana White has also echoed similar thoughts over the past few years. White recently suggested that if McGregor does make a UFC comeback, it likely won't happen until next year, adding an element of uncertainty to McGregor's potential return. Even White's statement includes an if, signaling doubts about McGregor's willingness or ability to return to the octagon. So why does McGregor continue to assert that he will be back in the UFC soon? One reason could be that it generates buzz and keeps him in the spotlight, a space where McGregor thrives. Alternatively, it's possible that McGregor genuinely intends to return to MMA, but given his recent focus on spectacle bouts, such as the upcoming exhibition match against Logan Paul, his MMA comeback appears less likely with each passing day.
We're not saying this is what we want. I think everyone will agree that we want Conor McGregor to, if he fights again, if he decides to fight again. Someone's texting me now about this. This is all,
wow,
it's all happening.
Real time. In real time, we're getting updates. Should I book a flight to India? We'll see on the back end.
Okay, so it is. We all want Conor to fight in MMA if he fights again, right?
Yes,
we all agree.
that's right.
Okay, got that out of the way. So let's talk about what I know as of right now on this Thursday afternoon. This family, the Ambani family, which I went through the stats, right? I went through the stats, courtesy GC got them for me very quickly. I will be honest, and perhaps it's shame on me, wasn't so familiar. Now, after doing some digging, probably we should have been very familiar because they're one of the most powerful and richest families in the world.
Conor McGregor has sparked controversy following a civil case loss and a heated exchange with Jake Paul on social media. The former UFC title holder was ordered to pay over $220,000 to Nikita Hand after a Dublin jury ruled that McGregor was responsible for mistreatment during a 2018 altercation. McGregor denies the claims, asserting that the incident was consensual and vowing to challenge the decision. The ruling prompted reactions from McGregor's rivals, including Jake Paul, who tweeted, "Dana hits his wife, Conor's convicted of rape, but I'm the bad guy." In response, McGregor used a homophobic slur, calling Paul a little gay nerd on Twitter. Paul fired back, denouncing McGregor's comment and suggesting that it revealed McGregor's true character. Hand, who had accused McGregor of mistreating her at a Dublin hotel, spoke out to the media outside the courtroom, hoping that her case would inspire other survivors to come forward. "No matter how afraid you might be, speak up. You have a voice," she said, expressing gratitude for the support of her family and friends. After more than 6 hours of deliberation, the jury ruled in Hand's favor. However, the case against James Lawrence, the man Hand accused of misconduct during the same event, was thrown out. McGregor, who had remained silent throughout the trial, left court without commenting further, only stating, "I will be appealing today's decision. I am with my family now, focused on my future." That's all from today's update. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. Share your thoughts in the comment section, and stay tuned for more.